Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Hey, my name is Nupanya. I watch your show a lot.
Thanks, man.
I like what you do. You're pretty cool. I might disagree with some of what you just said, but you do make a really valid point. For a while, like I didn't. I really wasn't interested in voting, primarily because of like the way like the system in and of itself is constructed, and we haven't really had a I guess a meta ethic. I'm not even sure how you'd articulate it, but we haven't gotten big enough to it. Like, Bernie's talking about like money in politics. He's talking about how people need more representation. He's talking about a lot of things that, like Barack Obama really wasn't preaching. It's almost like he was saying that like, oh, all we need is like a different driver in the car. And like Bernie's saying like, well, why are we even driving a car? Like he's trying to, it's more of a systematic sort of thing.
Right.
And if you look at the way the two-party system is constructed, it sort of makes it almost mathematically implausible that you would have a grassroots candidate on one side just get, just overtake both parties. So the fact that we have that happening on both sides, you have, I don't even like to call Donald Trump grassroots, but in a sense he is. They're sort of reflections of each other, at least in that regard. You have people that actually see, wait, well, if on one side we can affect the vote in this way, and on the other side we can affect the vote in that way, we might actually have a shot to actually change the system as it is. So I know you have criticism on the whole Burn Here Bus movement. I'm willing to say that I am part of that. I don't want to go on a whole soliloquy about it, but I will say it's sort of like, we've been playing chess for so long, we've always been losing. Or maybe not even that example. It's like, I've been playing, poker like in a rigged deck, basically. And if I have an ace card with Bernie and that fails, unfortunately, I might have to, literally pull a trump card or a joker card and end up
I think in this,
that. So maybe we both.
I think in this case,
it's a situation where like before the establishment never really had, like the House always wins. And you're telling me that there's a chance the House might not win? I guarantee you
that's
the
the
only reason
thing.
they're trying to stop Trump right now is because if it's Hillary versus Trump, that is a catastrophe. Especially with how things
well, hang on,
because
you hit on
I
something.
always say that the Republicans are like the family that
mic
argues
up?
in the grocery store, and the Democrats are the family that argues.
No wonder you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay. You couldn't hear me because I had my listen. I want to stop you where you are because you hit on something. We actually have a chance. Thanks for the call, but I want to hit on what you just hit on. This election, if no other election, is the election for people to actually make the House lose, in poker terminology, right? The establishment on both sides, in my opinion, is the opposite side of the same coin, right? That's what I really believe. It's the opposite side of the same coin, give or take a few deviations, give or take a few percentage points on tax code, give or take a few social issues, notwithstanding, but economic issues, give or take, it's the same establishment, same coin. This election, however, you actually have an opportunity to elect somebody who is not a part of the status quo. And as long as he's been in the system, he has always maintained the same anti-establishment, anti-status quo message. And so this idea that we should just, this is just any other election, we should. So this is what happens though. When you push this message that you should not politically participate, it gets so deep. It's a religion. Let me just break it down like this. This idea that the system is broken, therefore I should not participate in it, is just as damaging as any religion. It is just as damaging as this idea that the world is broken, therefore we should not participate in it. We should just get in our own little sect and just have our feel-good Sundays. Don't participate in the system at all to try to improve it. Don't take on the challenges of our day and try to change it. No, this world is damned. This world is going to hell, and we should just go into our churches and do nothing to fix the system around us. That's the same exact poison that is being pushed by people telling you not to participate politically. And again, if your only participation politically is voting, then you haven't even begun the rest of the things that you need to do. You haven't even tapped into your political power. You haven't tapped into your right as a citizen to organize and to find 100,000 people like you and change the system, even if you only change it locally. But instead, they push this religion on you that you should not participate because the system is broken. And so we may as well not even get involved. We may as well just sit back and go to our little meetings and just feel good about the fact that we're smarter than everyone else. We have wisdom that nobody else has. We have enlightenment that nobody else has. And we're not even going to participate in that because you all are just sheep. Pseudo intellectualism is like, I think that's the only thing that bothers me more than conservatism, because you have just copped out into leaving the system exactly. You are a tool. I'm feeling this one. When you buy into that message, you become a tool of the establishment. They want you to not participate. Do you realize if the people who are identified as independents actually got mobilized and actually believe that they individually, as an individual person, could change the system? Do you know that there is nothing in America that we cannot change? They need you to self-disenfranchise. That's why we have never had more than 60% political participation in at least the last 50 years. They are just fine with only having like 40% political participation and making decisions based on that. Because you know why? The other 60% are probably too radical for them anyway. So you and not you, the caller, but I'm just talking, the rhetorical you, people like Nick Cannon, encouraging you, preaching their sermon, preaching their religion that you should not participate is just as intoxicating. It's an opiate for the masses, just like religion. Don't participate in this political system because it's broken. We're smarter than everyone else. Everyone who votes and participates politically are just sheep. We're wiser than them. We're enlightened. Sounds just like religion. The world is broken. Everyone's going to hell. We're smarter than them. They just don't know. They haven't been enlightened. And so we just go to our meetings. It's the same religion that keeps you from changing the world around you. I'm sorry. I am more interested in changing the world around me than buying into the idea that nothing can change. All right.